Tell me a little bit about just your general feelings about where this thing sits right now. Obviously, it sounds like it's moving towards a lockout, and just your general thoughts about where this thing's headed.
You know, I hope that eventually they can, you know, get this thing resolved. Obviously, my feeling is if they haven't got anything done now, you know, we're probably going to be locked out for the off season, and then I'm sure when it's time gets close to training camp, something will be resolved because there's too much money to lose on either side, and it's just, you know, the effect on the economy and everyone, and the game. I mean, it's just going to ruin the game. So I think it's, you know, a good thing that hopefully both sides, you know, we can come together and realize that we're not as big as the game. We're just a small piece in the puzzle.
What are the players union, obviously they've been telling you guys for the last few years now, save your money, get ready, this thing's on the horizon. Do you think most players have heeded that warning and have followed those guidelines and tried to prepare themselves for this?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, hopefully so. I mean, all I can really do is prepare myself and worry about myself as much as, you know, you want to help out everyone else. And, you know, hopefully they took the advice of what people were saying and put some money away and they'll be okay. I mean, the people that really are going to kind of, you know, the first year rookies or second year players and things like that, because they don't have as much. But also, people got to remember, I mean, way back in the day before, you know, football salaries are what they are today, most football players had to supplement their income with a job in the off season. So, I mean, it's kind of like, hey, it might be one of those types of things, and it's kind of, you know, that's, you know, if we are going to be locked out, or if we do, you know, I'm interested in, you know, it's kind of, as much as I'd like to be back working out with the guys and it's fun and a great time in the off season, you know, I think it'd be kind of neat to see what maybe life or what I would want to do after football.
So this kind of gives you that opportunity.
Yeah, and I think gives some guys out some opportunities to do internships and things that you're kind of really pressed for time during the off season, and it's how you're going to do it and whatever. So I think it's kind of if they utilize it properly, it can be a unique experience for everyone.
Yeah. So how long do you think you guys are going to go? I mean, if it does go to a lockout, do you get any sense of at all?
I think, like I alluded to earlier, I think something will be done before the start of the season. Now, whether that's 3 weeks into what a normal training camp would be or whatever, abbreviated, I mean, my personal opinion, hopefully we get something done, you know, before 0 hour tonight. But if we don't, and it looks like we're not, I think sometime, you know, before this, you know, right before the season, training camp, or sometime right before the start of the season, kind of have abbreviated training camp, and away we go, because there's just too much at stake to be lost on either side.
There's so much, there's 3 or 4 key issues. Obviously the money, and dividing up the money is one of them. What about the expanded regular season? What do you think the majority of the players, how do you feel about it?
You know, obviously we're going to leave that up to them, but I mean, my feeling is if you're going to do it, great. Well, let's get compensated for another 2 games. And it's kind of it's a really touchy, you know, issue, because if you look at it where the owners come out and say, well, and this is a serious issue, the whole deal with concussions and injuries, and if they really are concerned about that stuff, that's, you know, probably expanding to 18 games isn't the greatest thing as far as that. And then it opens up a whole other can of worms. Now the life expectancy right now is, you know, maybe just over 3 years. Well, now it's going to be less, and you have to have 3 years and 3 games to get vested. Well, are they going to have to change all that? Then it comes to, if someone gets hurt week 2, but they can be back week 10 and still get 8 games or 10 games in the season, or 8 games in for the season, you know, are you going to have them on IR? You know, what about the expansion of the rosters? All those sorts of things. So hopefully they can come to a conclusion and we can get an agreement, and there'll be football next fall.
Obviously the fans, when you think about players being locked out, they think about the millionaire players. The league is really vastly made up of players who don't make that kind of money.
No, and that's, you know, kind of a myth that every single player is a millionaire, which isn't true at all. Do they make very good money? Yes, but you know, that the players that make the big time money is really just a small percentage of each roster. You know, 3, 4, 5 guys. You know, it's just a real small percentage.
So obviously those are the guys that are going to feel the pinch. I mean, if somebody's going to feel the pinch, it's going to be the younger guys. And, you know,
yeah, I mean, definitely. And what I think people forget too, I mean, hopefully, you know, we're normal people as well. It's not like, it's like we can do more than just football, I hope, most all the guys. And, you know, hopefully have gotten their education or use this time to go back and finish their degrees. Some of the guys that came out early, and like I said, you know, and kind of just see what the real world's like, and hopefully they'll take advantage of that time if that's what arises.
Tell me about this place. What is it? This is your kind of your baby, your vision. What is it?
You know, so Art of Strength Minnesota, it's a type of training. We like to say we teach in authentic strength, not functional strength. Authentic strength is tying the whole body biomechanically together, and it's one thing you just got to come see, feel, and touch to totally understand it, because we speak a totally different language than just, hey, we do squats and bench and those sorts of things. That's, you know, kind of the norm and has been staple of the industry for years. You know, we speak a totally different language, and this is something that I believe that if I can help out kids, well, in any sport, you know, pass it on, and this is something I wish I had when I was younger, you know, and hopefully I can give those kids an edge that I didn't have, or a resource of lifting and training that I didn't have, especially with, you know, the younger kids having a lot more injuries and certain things like that. The way this training is, it's, you know, zero impact, and, you know, we take care of a lot of those issues.
And why has it made a difference for you?
I mean, for me, I've only been doing it, I had total shoulder reconstruction. This is how I found this type of training, and Anthony DeLuzio is the one who started it, and I train with him now in the off season when I don't have to be in New England with our organized workouts. And I've just gotten a small flavor of it the last year, and it's really made a difference in my game and stamina and confidence on the field and understanding, you know, what I need to do to get the job done. It's not every play is 100 miles an hour, if that makes sense. I mean, you know you have the extra in the tank and how to be more efficient at what you do.
Yeah, and that's made a big difference for you.
Yeah, especially, and I'm really excited to, you know, get cranking and get a full year of this. I mean, I've had it kind of abbreviated with my shoulder and all those things, so I'm definitely very excited.
If this thing goes for a long period of time, who loses in this thing?
I think everyone loses. I mean, I think the fans, I think the players, and the owners. I mean, no one's bigger than the game. The game's at its strongest point, so hopefully we can get things rectified and move forward and put our own, you know, personal vendettas aside and get this thing done.
Yeah. Because I mean, if there's an offer on the table today from the owners, and it's no different today than maybe what you see in September, what's gained if you guys, I mean?
Oh, nothing. I mean, I just think if it's, I don't know. I mean, that's what we have people working that stuff out. And like I said, all you can do is control what I do. So make sure I'm in shape, I'm ready to go for whenever this thing is resolved, whether it's done in a few hours or whether it's done in a few months. You know, that's kind of my approach.
And obviously the fans are the ones that you guys hope will, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, without the fans, I mean, I don't get paid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, the owners, but I mean, without the fans, we don't get paid. I don't have a job. So I mean, that's bottom line. Right. I think, you know, that can't get lost in this whole thing.